Grab your sunglasses and sunscreen, everyone. It's time to dive into some fascinating facts about this amazing Caribbean country, Cuba. Cuba facts. Official name, Republic of Cuba. Government type, Socialist Republic. Capital, Havana. Population 11,382,820. Official language, Spanish. Currency, peso. Area, 110,860 square kilometers. Geography and landscape. Cuba is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea. It, along with its neighboring islands, forms the Greater Antilles, a group of islands that originated millions of years ago from the collision of two tectonic plates. The Caribbean nation is characterized by its long and narrow shape. It stretches 1,200 kilometers from east to west, but is only about 100 kilometers wide in most areas. Roughly 1/3 of the island is covered by high mountains and rolling hills, while the remaining 2/3 consist of lowland plains primarily used for agriculture. Cuba's remarkable nature. Cuba boasts a variety of ecosystems ranging from lush mountain forests and jungles to grasslands with even small deserts in between. These diverse environments are home to a wealth of unique plants and animals, some of which are found nowhere else on Earth. Cuba's dense forests are teeming with fascinating creatures. Among the most famous is the bee hummingbird, the smallest bird in the world, measuring only about 5 centimeters long. The island is also home to the world's tiniest frog, the Mount Iberia frog, which is just 1 centimeter in length. Truly mind-boggling, right? History of Cuba. The island's first inhabitants were the Siboney and Guanahata Bay peoples. Around 1,000 years ago, the Taino people from Venezuela arrived and took over the island. In 1511, Spain conquered the Taino and claimed Cuba as its colony. The Spanish enslaved many Taino people, forcing them into labor, and most perished from overwork and diseases brought by the Europeans. To work the sugarcane fields, hundreds of thousands of African slaves were brought to Cuba. In 1898, American forces helped expel the Spanish, and by 1902, Cuba had gained independence. However, the US held significant influence over the island until 1959, when communist revolutionaries led by Fidel Castro took control. Cuban government and economy. Cuba is a socialist state governed by the Cuban Communist Party. Citizens vote for their leaders, but the Communist Party is the only legal political party. Fidel Castro was president, prime minister, and commander-in-chief of the armed forces until 2008, when his brother Raúl Castro assumed leadership. In 2018, Miguel Díaz-Canel became Cuba's new leader. Since the communists took power in 1959, the US had a tense relationship with Cuba. However, following Fidel Castro's resignation, the two countries began to rebuild their relationship. In 2015, the US reopened its embassy in Havana, with American diplomats working closely with the Cuban government. Soon after, Cuba reciprocated by opening its embassy in Washington, D.C. Cuban people and culture. Cuba's rich culture is a blend of native, African, and European influences, creating a vibrant atmosphere that's recognized globally. The arrival of communism in 1959 had a profound impact on the Cuban people, both positive and negative. Cuba's history is reflected in its food, language, art, and most notably, its music. In Havana, it feels like there's a band on every corner playing the island's signature musical style called son, which blends energetic rhythms with classical guitar. Unlike many other Latin American countries, Cuba's favorite sport is baseball, not football. Baseball made its way to the island from the US in the 1860s, and Cuba has produced many international baseball stars. The Cuban national baseball team is one of the best in the world. What do you think of these fascinating facts about Cuba? Share your thoughts in the comments below.